Hello friends, welcome back to our CCNA 200-301 series. Today is video number 87. In video number 87, we are going to cover automation part 3, some theory about that one. So if you remember, in our last video, we completed till here. So now we are going to discuss REST API, and then we are going to discuss data modeling, that is young. And in our next video, I will try to do some lab, as our students is requesting for lab. But in our syllabus we don't have lab, we have only theoretical concept we need to understand. Remember, in your exam, that is CCNA 200-301, CISCO do not ask you to write a code. Just he will test some basic concept about the coding, like what is the syntax. You know the syntax about different languages whatever present in our syllabus, like Python. So like Python syntax, as well as the whatever syntax we discussed till now, they will ask in your exam. They will have the multiple question, like they will give this a small code in XML, and in the multiple choice option A, option B, option C, D, they will ask which one is the correct one, which one is the true. So you need to know in the JSON type and format and how it look. Okay, so anyhow, just remember, you should not be a developer. You need to have the idea. Don't worry, so many guys are worried about how to write the code. In exam, CISCO will not test your coding language. He will just test your basic concept about this automation and programmability. Okay, but in future try to learn the language like Python or another language, whatever you can, because in future we are going to have the automation. So let's discuss where we stop in our last video. We discussed that one, right? From here, yeah. REST stands for representation state transfer, and it is a architecture, not a protocol. Protocol means set of rules. We need to follow set of rules. So this is not a protocol. It is a architecture, means it will give the guidelines. We need to follow the guidelines whatever is given. And REST support any transport and data format, and HTTPS transport and JSON or XML data format are commonly used. REST app has fast performance compared to the SOAP, as we discussed in last video. Now we will see the REST has some constraint. We have some constraint as given. We need to have the server and client mode. Let me draw and show you. Example, if you see, we have one, imagine this is a router and this is our PC or application or our Python script from where we are running, or any script. So when we are using a REST API, the router and the application, they both should be in the form of server and client. This is a server example, this is a server, and this is a client. So this is application and this is a router example, this is a router. So when I want to check anything, example, if I want to check, I will say, hi, what is your host name? I will send the request to this router. I will send the request to this router. So he will be server and I will be the client, and he will reply to him, hi, my name is R. And we will ask, what is the IP of your interface? F0/0. He will reply, my IP of this interface is 192.168.1.1. I am giving example this IP. In this first point, what I am saying, server and client architecture. So if you see here, client send a request and the servers respond. The server send a respond. We need to have client server architecture. So whenever we are running this REST API, we will have one as a client, one as a server. So client will send a request, server will reply. Okay, so this point is, I think, clear for you. And next one is uniform interface, that is provide the simplicity. And stateless means, you need to remember, like when I ask, I am a client, I am running some script with that one API. It went to router, we asked, hi, what is your host name? He reply, my host name is R1. Then we ask, what is the IP address of F0/0? He reply, IP address. And then I am asking, what is the status? He will not reply. he will not give accurate information. When we are asking what is the status, we need to give the complete question. Like if I want to get the status of this one, right? So I need to ask what is the status of your interface F0 by 0. Then he will give it is down or up. That is a stateless. No client context is stored on the server between the requests. Means server will not store your information. Like you are asking host name and you are asking about this interface, and then suddenly you ask status, so he will not remember the old commands whatever is you are asking. So whenever you want to ask any question, you need to ask complete question, like what is the status of your interface F0 by 0, like that you need to ask. But if you ask two requests, two type, first you are asking IP address of F0 by 0, then you are asking what is the status, then he will not respond. You need to ask complete question. That is known as stateless. So this one is REST API is stateless. And cacheability. Cacheability means when the server is replying to you, he will mention this is cacheable. You can cache, no need to ask again and again. You can store this one in your file. So whenever you need, you can. Like example, host name, no one is changing. So he will, when we request what is your host name, he will reply my host name is R, and he will mention it is cacheable, we can cache it. Okay, so this point is also okay. And layered system, any intermediate device such as load balancer must be transparent to the server and client. And this is optional. Code and demand, it is optional. That is a server services can be temporarily extended or customized functionality of the client by transferring the executable code. And netcon, restcon are the API specially designed for this one, for network devices. Okay, so just you need to remember this point. This is important point for your exam also. We need to remember this is a constraint we have for REST API, and what are the function, what is the detail about this one, you need to remember. And now we will see the data model. If you remember what is data model, data model is nothing but it is also a, we can say like language. If you see here, data model describe the thing you can configure, monitor, action you can perform on the network device. A data model is a well understood and agree upon the method to be describe something. Like if you ask with if you want to configure any interface, you need to configure the IP address. How you will configure the IP address? You need to write subnet mask, you need to write no shutdown, and if you want to define the description about the interface, you can define. You will follow this step. That step is nothing but data model for configuring the interface. Okay. And young stands for yet another next generation, and young is a data modeling language. So we already discussed what is data model. So young is a data modeling language which provide a standardized way to represent the operation and configuration data of a network devices. It can be used both internally and when packaged for transmission. SNMP, you remember we done already one lab, and the video for SNMP is widely used for monitoring the network. We use this one for monitoring the network as well as for configuration of the network. But in reality, for configuration of the network, SNMP we use less, not more. Generally we use CLI script is more popular for configuration. Okay. And young is a modeling language and use data model that are similar to SNMP, MIB. If you remember, we use MIB in the SNMP. Okay. And young is a standardized standard. Let me move up. Young is a standard described in RFC 6020. Young use data model that describe what you can configure on the device. Whatever you need to configure, that is the steps what you need to execute, and how you need to monitor, how you need to perform any operation. That is the steps defined in the data model. Like example, if you see here, what you can configure on the device, what you can monitor on the device, and administration action you can perform on the device, like clearing interface counter or resetting OSPF or BGP protocol. Young data model can be common data model or vendor database model. Means different vendor maybe have different, and it is also common for some vendor depending upon which devices you are using. Data model allow a uniform way for us to configure, monitor, interact with the network devices. So by using Young we can configure, like we need to use CSR router because this feature is not available in most of the devices, but in coming future we will have all the devices will be compatible with Young. So we need to configure our router with a Young, and then we can use our like Linux machine and run the script and perform the operation. Okay, and data model, this one we already discussed. And network automation tool like Netcon, Rescon and gRPC required for Young modeling. So we use this two APIs when we are running the Young, and Young use a hierarchical tree structure similar to XML data format. And after that we have some lab also, but in our syllabus we don't have lab, but I do now. Maybe many guys will be confused, so later maybe after 2-3 video, or maybe let me complete the theoretical concept whatever we have in this. After that we will do 2-3 labs I design, but many guys will be confused and they will not have the images, so I will do later. Let me just give you what is this one. This is a, we can say, telnet lab in Python 3, like we have Python 3 version or Python 2.7 like that. So in that one I am using a network automation machine. I have one switch, I have one router. I connected that router with the switch and the network automation method, and I connected to the cloud internet, and I configure here DSCP IP address, IP address DSCP. So I will get the IP address to this interface automatically, and here also I will get that automatically. So these both can communicate. I can configure the telnet here or SSH. After that I can run the Python script here, and I can get remotely and I can do. Let me show you here. I wrote the step, but this is a script. Let me show you. But now you will have confusion. By using this command I will create one file, okay, in the Python. Here if you see here in this machine I need to go in the command this machine I need to go in the command. After that one I need to write this step, so it will create one file. Then I need to copy and paste this from here to here. What I am saying in this command means till here to here we will copy and paste, and this we are calling one library. This is also another library. If we want to write the script for telnet, it will take long time, so we will not write the script. Someone wrote the script that is available, we can use. That is a more advantage using in Python. So what I will do, I will call that script here, and I will write host name and whatever IP address of our router, and here I will write enter the telnet username. So when we run this script in our screen, we will get this one. So I need to write the username, then it will store and it will ask the password. If everything is matched, it will automatically go in the enable mode. By using secret password, then it will go in the configuration mode. Again, then it will automatically create VLAN 100, VLAN 200, then end. So after doing this one, we can go in our device, this device, what we call in this device, and we can write show VLAN brief. Then we can see we will have two VLAN, that is VLAN 100, VLAN 200. If you want to write more, you can copy same steps, this one like this. We can copy this step and we can write here an example. If you are using router, then what we can write, no need for VLAN, we can write here like if you want to create a loop back, I will write loop back 1, and then I will copy and paste same thing, and then what I can write here, I will write like this. I need to write IP address 192, or let me write for loopback I can write 1.1.1, and then I can write 255.0.0.0 like this I can write. If we are using like router, I am using switch, that's why I am writing VLAN. But if you want to write use router, we can cut this one steps. So this one like router, So this step will create loopback 1 and it will assign IP. So when you will go inside this router, you can write show show IP interface brief, then you will see the loopback. Before we don't have, but after running this script you will have. If you use switch in this place, then you can write this one VLAN, the one which I deleted just now, or let me put Control Z, this one. If you are using the, what we can say, if you are using a switch here in this place, you can create the VLAN. If you want to use the router, you can create loopback just for testing. This is for testing. Actually, we don't have in our syllabus to do lab and everything. And Cisco is not testing for programming in CCNA. They just want to know the concept. You need to have the concept, what is API and what is this, what is the different terminology, and what is the what we can say syntax. You need to follow the syntax, simple basic example and all that one. And Python, remember the basic points of the Python, because if in exam, if you have the Python, small thing you will have, you will not have the big like what we can say big program or something. We generally, most of the students wrote the exam and they told only syntax they are asking in exam. And see, this is the command prompt. Let me write IPython. If I wrote IPython, because I already installed, so this is the Python. If you want to assign any value, we can write x is equal to 1, and then if you write x, it will show x value is 1. I can write y is equal to 2. Then it is taken some error. Let me write again. y is equal to 2. It is taken y, then I will write only y, enter, output is coming. If you want to write z is equal to x plus y, it will have the value of the sum. If you write z, then it will print the value of z. If you want to print, you can write like this also, print z, and then z, let me do z, because if we are writing capital or small, I wrote wrong spelling, print, let me write correct, print, print, see green color, it should be in green color. Then I will write small z, like this we will have 3. And another one example, like type, and you will write the value of z, then it will show what is a type. Like this is a integer, so it will show integer. Example, if I want to assign a is equal to, let me write 1.5. okay, this is a 1.5. If I wrote a, enter, it is giving the value. But if I want to check what is the type of this one, I need to do like this and press. So it I follow incorrect template. Let me write type. After that, here I will write a float. If you see, we are getting a value is float. We need to give space. I did not give, that's why we are having issue here. Okay, so we have some comments like this. Basic you need to understand and you need to learn, like how we are performing the operation. Example, if you want to write what we can say a into b, like this. B is not defined. Actually, we did not define b. We define x and y. Let me write x into y. X into y is equal to, here x into y is equal to 2. What is the value of x? What is the value of y? Let me write x is equal to 1, and if you want y is equal to 2. So 2 into 1 is 2. So first of all, basic steps you need to know this one. After that, what we will do, we will download the Python script from the site. You can write in the Google like Python telnet script for Python 3. You will have, I copy from there only this script, and I modify some, like I wrote whatever IP address we are using, and I change some syntax here, and I add something here. So this is a basic thing. Don't worry if you don't know about this programming or anything. Just try to remember the theory what we discuss here, and in coming video we will start the controller also. We have SD this controller. So we are going to cover that controller. After that I will do 2-3 lab. We don't have actually lab, but anyhow, as per our student request, I am going to do the lab also. So in next video we are going to cover some theoretical concept whatever is there. After that our CCNA mostly finish. We will do some lab, and if I miss you can write that one, so I will cover, else I will start the CCNP. Okay, so your wish. If you want me to do the pending topic, you can write whatever is still I pending, I did not cover, I can do that one. Else if nothing is pending means let me know, write in the comment nothing is pending, you can start CCNP, then I will start the CCNP. Your wish. Okay, so try to download the CCNA 200-301 PDF file from the CISCO website and compare whatever we cover, whatever is missing, and let me know. Okay, thank you, bye.